Chapter 6, Taking Care of Business. The next morning, you leave the house before either of your parents can request an audience and hightail it to Faith's boutique to get her up to speed. And that was when my parents made me decide, death or exile. Am I allowed to ask which one you choose? I didn't have much of a choice. You know my parents, it's all or nothing with them. You had them killed? They tried to kill me first. They missed. I didn't. Faith reaches over and squeezes your hand. How are you feeling about your would-be assassins now that you've had a night to sleep on it? I feel weirdly calm. I slept like a baby last night. Does that make me a monster? Maybe. More likely you were just freaking exhausted. Someone did just try to push you off a roof. Plus, you know, we can't roll out shock. Give it some time. Look, I know the dark stuff makes our world go round. It's not supposed to go, get near my place, you know? Kinda defeats the purpose. I never thought I'd even get a chance to meet that legend over there. She nods to Roy, who is not even trying to look subtle as he keeps watch from the middle of the lingerie section. Come on, Faith. He's insufferable enough without you calling him a legend. I'll flatter that man as much as I want, Diamond. He's keeping you safe. And if anyone can guide you through the messy parts of the job, it's him. A deep weight settles in your chest, you know, it's only going to get messier. I always knew my parents were protecting me, but I never knew how much. The door jangles and a clean-cut man walks into the boutique. You're about to point out that the shop isn't open yet, but he walks straight over to Faith and hands over a large cup of coffee. Awesome, right on time. What do I owe you? $4.50. Faith reaches under the counter and pulls out a stack of crisp $100 bills out of her bag. She counts out 5 and hands them over without batting an eye. Keep the change. See you again in 3 months. Coffee's always hot and ready. The man wanders off and you raise a quizzical eyebrow at her. Did you just give the man $500 for a latte? Yes. That's how ignorant you are. And naive. Man, I wish it came with a latte too. She pops the top and pulls out a prescription pill bottle. Mysterious medication, a stimulant. Is that... You're interrupted as one of Faith's employees ducks out of the back room. Inventory's finally done. Want me to open up for the day? Faith flashes a thumbs up, and on his way over the open sign, the employee catches sight of the pill bottle. Oh, the new Addy is in. Can I buy a couple for midterms this week? My roommate raided my stash. Wish I could help you, but I need these to, you know, make my brain work. Oh, come on. If you need them so bad, wouldn't you just, like, get them from a doctor? I don't know, Brad. You ever tried getting ADHD diagnosed as an adult woman with no history of behavioral problems? This is very true. I mean... Ever waited in a line for half an hour just to find out you can't have your meds because your doctor didn't give you a hard copy of your prescription? Well... Ever had to repeat the hellish process every 30 days for years while also struggling with comorbidities like depression and anxiety? No, but... 'Cause it sucks, Brad! I like her. I like her now 10 times more. The employee looks down, muttering an apology as he scurries off to open the store. Damn, Faith. I didn't know it was that bad. I knew you had a hard time getting a diagnosis, but, well, I'm sorry, that's not fair. Yeah, we're gonna talk at the end of this video. Faith shrugs, shooting you a rueful smile. It is what it is. My mad hookup is my second favorite benefit of working for your family. You're the first. Faith stows the medication in her purse as more employees show up and the boutique starts to bustle with activity. I guess handling annoying employees is a skill I'll have to pick up, huh? Yeah, job comes with a lot of responsibility, but the perks are worth it. Tell me more about, the responsibilities. You mean other than balancing books, paying taxes, helping customers, managing inventory, and dealing with employee drama? Okay, slow down. I haven't even gotten to the juicy stuff yet. No, literally, hi. You wonder why I talk so fast sometimes? Literally, hi. Me and Faith are like twinsies. I wish I could be as optimistic as you. My parents got me a meeting with the deputy mayor, and I'm way out of my depth. We need eyes and ears in Mayor Trung's office, and he seems like a good candidate on paper. So, what's your play? I don't know. That's the problem. By all accounts, he's an old money douchebag with a real superiority complex. Not the type I tend to schmooze with. So, I'm so behind, Faith. My parents expect me to know things I've never been told. Things Clyde would have been taught. My mom is judging my every step. Dad doesn't tell me I've done anything wrong until it's become a full-on crisis. Look, I can't fix all that, but the businesswoman stuff, it's a lot easier than you think. And while I'd love to stay and chat, I've got a job that isn't the kind of thing that I can do out front. Suddenly her face lights up. Wait, how about you and Roy come with me to the back office and help me? And you'll see the nitty-gritty of the family trade. We can figure out a strategy for Deputy Moneybags. You've got a deal. No, seriously, it's extremely hard, because, you know, like, let's put it this way. Science still hasn't mapped the brain yet, let alone, you know. Yeah, it's a tough world. Anyway, thank you. I'll be the best student ever, promise. Hell yeah. This way to Faith Skelly's School of Hard Knocks. She lets Roy check the hallway to the back as she shouts directions for employees. Go ahead and move the rack of studded jeans out front. Well, yep, they're not gonna sell as fast as I'd like. On it. Roy nods as all clear and takes up position outside of the door as you and Faith breeze into her office. In addition to a desk and computer, there are cases of liquor bottles stacked up against the back wall. What's with all the booze? Are you trying to put my nightclubs out of business? As if I could. This is actually for your clubs. She pops the lid off one of the boxes and pulls out an empty bottle of high-end gin. It's mostly gone. We're on decoy duty this morning. I need to fill all of these. Faith opens up another box. She lifts out a much bigger and trashier-looking bottle. This. Half the stuff your parents sell in these bars and clubs is secretly bottom shelf swill. Are you telling me Club Caviar is a fraud? I took a ton of shots there the other night. They all seem fine to me. Because you're not going to notice the difference between 90% bottom shelf and 90% top shelf. And this is why people are stupid with their money, see? Don't feel too bad. 9 out of 10 people can't tell the difference. As always, my excellent taste is a blessing and a curse. You line up empty bottles and watch as Faith starts expertly filling them. This feels weirdly mundane. I always thought things my parents did were more, dangerous than this. You'd be surprised how much money comes in by selling cheap stuff disguised as designer goods. Faith hands off the refilled bottles and you replace the caps before returning them to the box. Fancy liquor, olive oil, organic produce, anything people are willing to pay extra for because it's fancy. Faith tapes a box shut and starts the whole process over from the start. I don't normally do this kind of thing, but the cops have been sniffing around your parents' usual spots. No one would think to launch a liquor raid on a small independent boutique, so it's the safest place. So what else do you do for them besides sell cute clothes? I mean, money laundering mostly. You know, those studded jeans I'm having Brad move? They're listed for $300. Honestly, that's kind of a steal. Right? They're adorable! So I ring them up and I record that I sold them for $500. Then I make up the difference in dirty money from your family's shadier businesses. They're already so expensive that no one looking over my books will think to question the cost. That's pretty brilliant. People who work for the IRS have no idea how much designer goods cost. Yep. Exactly. They never think twice. Just like that, I added $200 into the back system, now squeaky clean and ready for Uncle Sam to take his cut. That's the nitty-grittiness of the family rules, Diamond. Always pay your taxes, especially with operations as large as your parents. Yep, Al Capone got caught, actually, because of taxes. Nothing else. That was it. Taxes. It's the little stuff that gets you in trouble. If they get you on the little stuff, they can link everyone together under a RICO Act and start asking where the bodies are buried. Then someone cracks, we're all getting 10 years in lockup and setting ducks for the Flints all because of the pants. Wow. Yep. You and Faith finish up with the first batch of bottles, but there's still a second pile of boxes to get through. Current gin's done, which means it's whiskey time. Grab that one, will you? As soon as you open the next case, you start laughing. What? You'll hold up a huge bottle of cheap whiskey for the all-too-familiar label. Uh-huh. More like lighter fluid? I used to drink this crap in college. It's toxic. If it doesn't kill you while you're drinking, it'll definitely want to die the next day. Does that mean you want me to pour you a glass? Obviously. Faith pours you each a glass, and you take yours and breathe in the familiar aroma of wood, smoke, and gasoline. I wonder if it's as bad as I remember. Only one way to find out. Salante. Faith clinks her glass with yours and kicks back the drink. You take a long sip, grimacing as the cheap whiskey burns a fiery path down your throat. Well, what's the verdict? I can't believe I drank this and lived. Stick out your tongue, eyeing the remaining whiskey with its taste. I must have been made of sterner stuff back then. We all are, trust me. The good old days of youth. Not like you're ripe old 22 years old now. Oh, poor thing. To be honest, I kind of wasted my college years. I kind of always end up working for the family, or so I knew, and so it really didn't matter what I studied or how hard I worked. Yeah, but that's another one of those mob perks. You get free pass to misbehave. I don't know, I kind of regret it now. If I had been smart, I would have learned something more useful than the best places to make out in the library. It's not like... I'm not like you, Faith. You're so much good at reading people, you put them at ease, and they just want to tell you everything. Hey, it's not your fault that you have this whole Black Widow next door thing going, you're badass. I doubt that's gonna impress the deputy mayor. Everything I've read about him reminds me of my dad's friends, the ones who don't even want me in the room. Alright, you're not gonna impress him. Well, you don't have to put it that way. No, you're great, but he thinks things are all about him, so lean into it. What do you mean? He's got an absolute hottie as a captive audience. He won't admit it, but he wants to impress you. So let him talk. Half the time you'll get everything you need just by nodding along and pretending to be interested. People have zero self-control when it comes to talking around themselves, or about them. Remember that and you've got this. Yeah, pretty much. People love to talk about themselves. Nod along and pretend, yeah. You prop your chin on your hand, opening your eyes wide, nodding for Faith to continue. Maybe it's because we're all so hooked up on our phones and stuff nowadays. Everyone is secretly dying for a chance to have an actual conversation. I see. How interesting. Tell me more. Faith snorts and gives you a playful shove. Brat! You take in Faith's office with a single sweeping glance. Can I ask you something? You can always ask, but I don't promise to always answer. Is this where you thought you'd end up? Run a successful boutique, cooking books for the whole family, and the occasional whiskey side hustle? You mean, did I dream of this life as a little girl? She shrugs non-committally. Maybe not, but I didn't really have any better options. Turns out having an undiagnosed ADHD and parents who berate you for being a failure, like it's your job, can screw up your life pretty good. I dropped out of college, got fired for more jobs than I remember, and lost just about every friend or partner I ever had. Faith, that's awful. I'm so sorry. Until I started working for your family, I had almost no control over my life, nor over myself. In a way, you guys kind of saved me. Your throat starts to feel thick with emotion, but Faith flashes a ready smile. Plus, if I hadn't taken this job, I would have never met you. That would be unacceptable. You raise your glass in a toast. I'm glad you're finally succeeding. You deserve to be happy, Faith. Oh, you're gonna make me cry. You click your glasses and take another sip. As you both shudder over the taste, you fall into a peal of laughter. I can honestly say that I've learned more in the past half an hour than the entire 4 years I went to college. Thanks for this, Faith. Anytime. What's mine is yours. She winks as you start gathering up your things and head for the door. Except for the Addy, of course. I've got pretty used to this whole having executive function thing. A few days later, you're sitting down for lunch with the deputy mayor, per your parents' orders. The moment he walks in, you know he's gonna be trouble. What's this? I thought I was coming to a meet with a representative from the Wolf family. You're already underestimating me. Got it. Also, we weren't sold an outfit, which is weird. You are. I'm Diamond Wolf. I didn't realize you graduated high school. 4 years ago, in fact. Please, sit down. He continues to stand as he casts a disgusted look around the dining room. It's humming with quiet activity as waiters and diners move about. Your parents own 3 5-star restaurants. So why'd you bring me to this place? Don't worry. The chef is remarkable. I recommend the black and blue steak. The tuna tartare is also excellent. In fact, why not have both? You're here as my guest. You hand him a menu and wait politely until he sits down. Unless the steak is Wagyu, I'm not interested. What the hell is Wagyu? I'm serious. I've heard so much of that bullshit lately, mainly because of commercials, because of Arby's, but I digress. He sinks into his seat, sulking. As soon as he's settled, he grabs the wine list and flips to the last page. I appreciate you taking your time to meet me today. I'm sure you're a busy man. I am. I can barely squeeze you in. A city like New Athens doesn't run by itself. You and Mayor Trung seem to have a good handle on things. Mayor Trung wouldn't know how to handle a kindergarten graduation or ceremony on her own. The one who does most of the heavy lifting. You two don't get along. How interesting. Don't be ridiculous. We get along great. I'm only second in command because Bethany begged me to accept the position as a personal favor. A waiter comes bustling up before you can continue this line of questioning. Have you had time to look at things over? Yeah, bring me a bottle of Chateau Lafleur with the scallops to start off all over with a porterhouse steak, medium rare. I thought you wanted the Wagyu. You hide your scowl as the deputy mayor zeroes in on the 3 most expensive items on the menu. Alright, Diamond. I know you want to kill him, but we're just, you've gotta just let him talk. You lean back in your seat and play with the stem of your wine glass. I'd love to hear more about how you and Mayor Trung first met. I heard you were her campaign manager once upon a time. You, know about that? I find your whole career fascinating. Growing up the way you did, putting yourself through college, you weren't handed everything the way Mayor Trung was. It's true, I've had to work hard for everything I have. And you do it so well. I do, don't I? I thought about running for mayor myself, but everyone was all starry-eyed about her mob-busting approach. I didn't even have a chance to pitch my own platform. Oh? Yep. Owns like a dog with a bone. We get it. Organized crime is bad, blah, 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 blah. Right. I swear, it's like her whole vendetta against her family is personal. Weird. Very weird. Sometimes I don't even think she cares about the rest of the city. If she can take you out in the flints, then the rest doesn't matter. He sits back with a start, suddenly worried he said too much, and to the wrong person. I don't know how we got on the subject. I thought we were here to talk about me. Oh, we are? Are you going to tell me what this meeting is supposed to be about? Of course. I wanted to let you know that I'm taking on a new role within my family's business. What kind of role? Public relations. I'm here to make sure you have everything you need to do your job as deputy mayor. I don't need your help to be successful. I was running a Fortune 500 company when you were still in diapers. My next move won't be as a deputy, I can tell you that much. I'm going all the way to the top. So the mayor would be the next step. Literally, unless you plan on going for president. In that case... strong financial banker, or backer. Connections. New Athens is just the start. It'd be our pleasure to introduce you some players on the national level, or international, wherever your interests lie. He laughs at you. You, Diamond Wolf. Nice try, darling, but I don't need help from anyone to get where I'm going. The waiter returns with a tray of food. I said medium rare, not charred to a crisp. I'm terribly sorry, sir. Shall I take it back? No, it's fine. I'll make do. Should have known what to expect from a place like this. Oh, how the hell am I supposed to bribe a man with an ego the size of this one? You pick up your steak knife and begin expertly flipping it over your knuckles. It's almost accidental at first, but a wolfish smile widens on your face when you realize how it could be perceived. Better be careful. A little thing like you might cut yourself. Don't worry, I'm more likely to cut you. Don't underestimate me, Deputy Mayor. I'm not the innocent little girl you think I am. You set the knife down across your plate, its tip pointing directly at his chest. And I'd be more than happy to give you a personal demonstration. Is that supposed to be a threat? No. I mean, I just want to be clear. He pushes back from the table, his face twisted in a sneer. It's gonna take a lot more than that to intimidate someone like me. Do you have any idea what kind of man I am? I'm a prince of an industry, king of the hill. No one can touch me. Especially a clumsy little girl who wouldn't know a good steak if it slapped her across her face. He storms out before you can attempt to recover your position. With a dejected sigh, you slump back to your seat. At least I learned that the mayor's vendetta is more than just professional. Yeah, I don't think we were going to get very far with this idiot. You catch sight of Roy standing by the door, ready to come to your aid at the slightest sign. You lift a hand and wave him over. What's up, kid? You might as well join me. No point letting good food go to waste. You pick up your glass of wine, sipping it gloomily. Didn't look as bad as it felt. Don't take it so hard. There's a reason your parents gave you this assignment. They can't stand the deputy mayor either. Everyone knows he's an ass. You were a Hail Mary. Really? Then we just take him off the board. You drop your fork to your plate with a clatter, holding in a sigh or maybe a scream. Why don't they get that I'm not a Clyde? I can't make miracles happen. I can't be something I'm not. And when I am, what am I supposed to... am someone who fell for the son of a man who ripped my family apart. Roy picks up a fork and begins eating the untouched steak in front of him. A low chuckle shakes from him. I was just thinking, do you remember the first time you and I met? No, should I? I was probably a baby at the time. Close, you were 5 years old. I was interviewing for the bodyguard position with your dad. Really? I was there? You weren't just there, Diamond. You snuck into your dad's office, started asking me questions like you owned the place. I knew right then that you were going to run this family someday, Clyde or no Clyde. Not even in school yet, and you're already calling the shots. You're making that up. Nope, I remember it like it was yesterday. Want me to tell you the whole story? Maybe then you'll remember those good instincts you've always had. Tell me what happened. Okay, go ahead. But if this turns into It's a Wonderful Life, the stake is coming at your head. Understood, Miss Wolf. You sit behind your dad's desk, your feet dangling, as you carefully line up a row of colored pencils across the top. The door opens and a man walks in. Hello, sir. I want to thank you again for taking the time to... The words die on his lips as soon as he sees you. I think I might be in the wrong place. Hello, I'm Diamond. Is your dad here? He's late. He's always late. You can sit down if you want. Roy hesitates, but eventually lowers himself into the seat at the other side of the desk. He looks a lot nicer than the other guys your dad's been talking to all day. Are you here for the new job? That was the idea, yeah. Okay, why?
Why am I here, or why do I want the job?
I don't know. That's how we're supposed to start.
Roy's lips quiver, but he puts a serious expression on his face before he answers. Let's see, I've been working as a middle-level enforcer for 5 years now. I put in my time, and I've shown I can be loyal.
5 years? That's how old I am.
I know, it's a long time. That's why I'm here. I have more to offer you and your family if you'll let me.
I want to know, how many somersaults can you do?
Oh boy, I haven't done a somersault in years.
That's too bad. You have to be super strong to work here.
I can bench 250 if that helps. Hey, fellow bencher.
250 what?
You know what? Forget it. You pick up one of the colored pencils and start scribbling down letters across the page in front of you.
What's your favorite color?
I'm not sure. What's yours?
You're not sure what favorite color you have?
You scrunch your face up in the way your dad does when he's trying to be scary.
I ask the questions round here.
Yes, ma'am. In that case, blue.
You like cats or dogs best?
Dogs for sure.
You like kids?
I'm starting to.
What happens if you shoot a bad guy, but then you find out he's not really bad?
Ooh, that's an interesting question. Roy sits back in a seat and blinks at you. You can tell it's a good question. You need to follow your instincts if you're gonna survive in this world. Sometimes those instincts are wrong, and all you can do is learn from that experience and try to forgive yourself, or you won't be able to keep going.
Consider him for a moment. Fingers steeple like your dad does when he's thinking. That's a good answer, mister.
The door to the office swings open. Your dad is wearing his scowly face. Diamond, I told you not to color in here today. I'm holding interviews.
I was just helping.
Go find your brother. I don't have time for this.
You slide out of the chair and enter the door, feeling sad. Before you leave, Roy crouches down to your level and offers you his hand.
Thanks for your time, Miss Wolf.
Give him an interview tip. Instead of shaking his hand, you get up on your tippy toe and cup your hand around his ear. My dad likes it best when you look right at his eyeballs.
Noted, I'll make sure to do that.
As you slip out of the door, you hear Roy speak to your dad.
If you don't mind me saying, sir, that is one impressive kid. I wouldn't mind working for her someday. I knew then, right then, that you were gonna grow up to be something special. And I was right.
I can't believe I actually did that. Groan as you remember yourself at that age, always getting in everyone's way. Please don't tell anyone else that story, I'll never live it down. Roy smiles as he finishes his steak.
You had a very valued place in the organization even then, and you were already on your way to expanding it. They push you because they think you're the best of all of them, and they're right.
Oh, Roy, you're making me feel all mushy.
Whatever this life throws at you, you'll handle it like a pro, don't forget that.
A flush of pride warms your face. Roy, did you mean what you said about instincts back then?
Every word, why?
No reason. Vic's hot, so what? I'm done beating myself up for, noticing. I know where the line is. I'm Diamond freaking Wolf, I draw the line. Your next big meeting takes place at Club Caviar a few hours later, and the man you've come to see is already waiting for you at the bar when you arrive. So nice of you to make it, Vic. If you wanted to take me out on a date, hotshot, all you had to do was ask. I'd rather not turn this conversation into a battle. Can we please act like rational adults for once? And take all the fun out of it. You ignore him, settle on the stool next to him. He looks as infuriatingly gorgeous and cocky as ever, but you remember what Roy said and hold your head high. It's gonna take a lot more than a crooked smile to get the better of me. After the incident the other night, I've come to a few conclusions. About that, You hold up a hand to cut him off. There's no way in hell you're talking about Dylan right now. Better to pretend they aren't related at all. I'm not here to discuss that. You and I are obviously going to cross paths, so we need to come up with some ground rules. Especially if you plan to keep coming back to my club. Why, Diamond Wolf? Is that an invitation? His eyes flick over your shoulder to the stage. Because if it is, your timing is perfect. My favorite act is about to start. I'm serious, Vic. We need some rules of engagement to avoid whatever the gala was. Vic nods to the burlesque dancer as she takes the stage. He doesn't even pretend to pay attention to you as loud, sultry music starts to play. Loud, sultry music. More like boring. Sure thing, whatever you say. I'm sorry, am I keeping you from something? Now that you mention it, you kind of are. His eyes flick over your body before returning to the stage, where the dancer is showing a lot more skin. You're a fox, no doubt about it, but not even you can compete with that. Oh, he is goading you into this. He whistles, you narrow your eyes as you watch the dancer's gyrations on the stage. She isn't doing anything that you haven't seen before, or that you couldn't do just as well yourself. I'm sure there's a private room where I can demand Vic's full attention, and everything else I want out of these negotiations. Put on a show. What? You were literally putting on a show for just this fanciful feast. I never understood this. I don't know, maybe it's because I, have to first build an intellectual and emotional bond with someone, but, yay, we're gonna get to put on a show, I guess. Ugh. What's wrong, Hotshot? No snappy comebacks? Actually, I was just thinking about how I can compete with that. Vic tries not to stare at you, but he can't keep a gleam of interest from flashing in his eyes. And what's that supposed to mean? Follow me and find out. You get up and walk towards one of the private VIP rooms in the back of the club, an extra sway in your hips. Vic hesitates for a tiny sliver of a moment before following you inside. This better be good. I'm not an easy man to impress. You place a hand in the center of his chest, pushing him lightly down on the velvet couch along the back wall. It's time you learn not to underestimate me. This is the last time you question my authority. Oh, because you're gonna give him a strip dance? Oh, Jesus Christ. Alright. Alright, just continue. Just literally continue. This undermines women. I'm serious. Let's just go. Vic settles in a seat, one leg crossed casually over the other. Well, we'll see about that. You move to the sound system and lean over it, scanning the music options. You want something with a good beat. Something to let you show off your best moves. Intense and sultry. Up-tempo and playful. Why not? Is it better than what we were listening to? You turn around as the music kicks on and your hips already starting to rock in time to the beat. Nice try, but this isn't anything I haven't seen before. Are you gonna critique or are you gonna negotiate? You move closer to Vic, your body moving with slow deliberation. Despite his light words, his intense gaze never wavers. If you want this, I need a few promises first. And by this, you mean... You turn your back to him and start playfully gyrating your ass. You glance over your shoulder with a coy smile. To spend time in my club, obviously. You turn back to hide your satisfaction. Vic sucks in a sharp breath as you dip and grind in time to the music. Rule number 1. You can only come here twice a week. Any more than that, and the people are gonna think you're obsessed with me. Sounds fair. Please continue. You peek over your shoulder to find him sitting perfectly still, hands clutched tightly at his sides. I need to step it up if I'm gonna really get to him. I should show some more skin. I mean, whatever. I don't know how to do this shit, don't at me. You lift your hands to the top and begin slowly sliding it off your one shoulder, revealing more and more skin. Damn, Diamond, don't hold back on my account. An ache grows in you, remembering the first time he said that. before this all went wrong. For a moment, you can feel it all over again, the rush of the car, the sweat on your skin, the electricity between you. Your fingers play and skim over the upper curve of your breast's thick gaze. It burns so hot that you can feel it start to blaze within you. You pause again, admonishing him with a smile as you regain control. Don't get too excited. A peek is all you get. Which brings us to rule number 2. You're the only Flint I want to see and hear. Got it. If Dylan comes anywhere near this place, he's a dead man. Vic opens his mouth to protest, so you flash another inch of skin. His tongue darts out and touches the edge of his lips. Sure. Okay, no Dylan. A thrill runs through you, so powerful that it takes you by surprise. This is working better than I thought. You have a fucking caveman with a pea-sized brain in front of you. All he cares about is your curves. The room starts to feel smaller and darker, driving the two of you in its warm embrace, but you can't help but wonder why you're getting so worked up. I must be enjoying this because Payback is a saucy bitch. We're doing it. Nobody jerks me around and gets away with it. You draw near, so close, you're almost in his lap. You can't look away as you bend and tease, your body never quite touching his. You want to touch me, don't you? The thought maybe crossed my mind. You want to feel how hot my skin is under your fingertips, how my curves fit in the palms of your hands. Is there another rule in here somewhere? You laugh and lean over him, your mouth so close to his that you can practically taste him. You'll treat me with respect at all times, Vic, no matter what you want, or how bad you want it. He swallows heavily when he speaks, his voice sounds strained. I'm not an animal, I can control myself. Is that so? You arch your back, your whole body straining to get close to his. The air between your pulses with unspoken need. His voice catches for an electrifying instant before he finds his smooth confidence again. Anything else, Your Highness? Yeah, my final rule is that you, tip the waitstaff well. Dylan only gave his waitress $5 last time he was here. That's unacceptable. You're right, he knows better. Do you? The longer you bend over Vic, your body undulating on top of his, the more his breathing starts to grow labored. Diamond, I warned you I was good at this. You tip your head back and grind your hips so close they graze against his lap. The moment your bodies touch, you know you're in trouble. His hand shoots out and grabs you from the waist. You freeze, your face so close to his that you can practically feel the flutter of his eyelashes against your cheek. I thought we were negotiating here. The pressure of his fingers holds you transfixed. The moment seems to extend into infinity until the song finally comes to an end. You jump back, breathless, dizzy, a shaky laugh escapes you. I think I've proven my point, don't you? You don't wait for an answer as you turn away and try to gain your bearings. You can still feel the imprints of his hand burning into your waist, but you refuse to let him see. It's close, too close. I need to get out of here. As long as you stick to the rules, you can keep coming to Club Caviar, understood? It stares at you for a beat too long. Yeah, I can play your game. For now. The gruff note in his voice puts you on your guard. You're careful to stay out of his reach as you slip out of the room. As you and Vic return to the crowded, pulsing dance floor, a flash of movement near the bar draws your attention. You lock your eyes with the last person you expected to see at the bar tonight. Oh, shit. Mom? A storm of icy fury rolls over Zarya Wolf's brow, and you're suddenly aware of how things must look. Me and Vic together in the dark, crowded club, both of us a little too flushed. Your mother approaches you with slow, ominous cadence of a thunderstorm. You're far from home, Mr. Flint. Has Diamond not told you what happens when you enter enemy territory? Allow me to remind you. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, without further ado, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Head down the description below. Links to a bunch of cool things where you can hang out in the whole 9 yards. And hopefully you did enjoy. Hopefully you also had a good holiday. Whether you celebrate it or not, hopefully the weather treated you well. Hopefully you stayed warm, had a nice hot chocolate or coffee. Have an extra on me. And yeah, hopefully you've had at least some semblance of an okay past week. I know today is officially Tuesday now, and I'm 6 days behind, but don't worry, I'm catching up. So, um, with that being said, let's go ahead and dive into a quick little message from yours truly. Uh, no, I feel faith. I really do. As a person who just TLDR, I've never really felt like accepted by society. Never really felt accepted by anyone. And I've always had to adapt or whatnot, and some of the things she talked about, I would love to. I've tried to on the past on this platform, and unfortunately, when it came to talking about things or the who's and what's it's, YouTube very much frowns upon it, even to this moment, to this very moment. Just by a couple words that Faith called out. A lot of people have to sugarcoat when they talk about these things. Like, it's weird. We live in a society where negative things are praised, negative creators are praised, negative things are constantly talked about. But when you try and talk about things, bring them out into the light, and try and help other people or whatnot, we have to sugarcoat things. It's weird. It's weird, especially to it be accepted by, say, YouTube, for instance. It's really weird. It's really weird. Like, I've had literal videos deleted on this platform just for trying to motivate other people, just to talk about my things that I've gone through. Literal videos have been deleted from this platform, like tons of them, and it's kind of sad to be honest, because I enjoy sharing things with people, because it's knowing the fact that someone may not feel so alone, and they may be comforted by the fact that someone else has gone through what they're going through, and that there can be brighter days and whatnot. And it's kind of sad that you have to really sugarcoat that, because people, I don't know, I don't feel like people, myself included, and maybe that's where I'm coming from, is I'm thinking about, other people like me, which I really haven't met many people, but I'm trying, that are like me, that don't want sugar-coated. They want things flat and honest, and I don't know, just everything has to be bright and sweet, and just, so much so everyone would eat it, versus, not eating it, and taking a moment to admire it and look at it and think about it and things like that. Just shove it in your mouth and eat it and swallow and then move on, I guess, is how society wants now. And I'm just not that type of person. I don't know. But when it comes to the things like Faith is going through, definitely there. And it's super tough. Again, it's super tough, but I digress. Thank you all for watching. Love your beautiful faces. Let's bring in the new year together. And yeah, have a good one. Peace out.